Hi guys, welcome back to Lewis on Film. I'm Lewis, and today I'm very excited to bring you my predictions for the Oscars, which are going to be announced tomorrow. And today I am going to give you my take on what will get nominated. Now, just to say at this particular point, we are not doing what is going to win. We are not doing wins. We'll do that nearer the time. This is what will get nominated, in my opinion. Now, do note that I haven't seen every single film that is in consideration or that is favourites to get nominated, even for obvious reasons, including that I'm a working man. A lot of the films as well haven't been released yet. They got delayed due to COVID, and they still haven't been released, so I haven't seen them all yet. However, I do have my list here. I've got my educated guesses, and I've got my surefire picks as well, which I'm pretty confident will get a nomination. I'm going to say at this point, so I'm usually quite good at predicting the Oscars. I genuinely did predict that Heath Ledger would get an Oscar nomination from the trailer of Dark Knight. So there you go. So let's dive straight in. Okay, folks. So I'm going to go through these nominations. I said they're not in any particular order, but I am going to go through some of the main categories for the Oscars. The nominations are in no particular order for each category either. Now, like I say, I haven't seen all of them, all of the contenders, but I'm just giving my 2 cents on what I think based on what I know. So we'll start with Best Original Screenplay then, as all films do. So I've gone for the 5 nominations: On the Rocks, Sofia Coppola; Promising Young Woman, Emerald Fennell; Trial of the Chicago 7, Mank, Jack Fincher; and St. Francis, Callie O'Sullivan, one of my favourites from last year. Didn't quite make my top 10, but she starred in it and wrote it. Now, she's my wild card pick, Kelly, but it's worth seeing if you haven't. It's really, really good. I'd love to see her get nominated for that. I think it's a beautiful script and a beautiful performance. Very brave script as well. So yeah, I can see the Academy getting behind her on that, but we'll see how that pans out. Best Adapted Screenplay, anyway. So I've gone for that. I've gone for Borat's subsequent movie film as the first nomination. Again, these are in no particular order, but I'm going to say this right now. I actually wasn't a fan of Borat, the original. I just went into it in completely the wrong vein, I guess, in the wrong mindset or whatever you want to say. It was not at all what I expected it to be. I didn't find it funny at all. I went in expecting a laugh because it's Sacha Baron Cohen. I didn't laugh once. I put off watching the second one, thinking the same thing, but the second one was genuinely funny and genuinely educated me and genuinely entertained me and made its point. I don't think the first film did it as well as the second film does. So it's given that the first film got a nomination for original screenplay, I've got to give it this for obviously being adapted because it's a sequel. But I've got to put it in there because I think it is better than the first one. Okay, I've gone for Nomadland, which is Chloe Zhao. The Father, Christopher Hampton. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is Ruben Santiago Hudson, and I'm Thinking of Ending Things, which of course is Charlie Kaufman. So I'm Thinking of Ending Things. That's the wild card in this particular set of nominations, in my estimation. But if you've ever read Charlie Kaufman's scripts and you're familiar with his films and what he does with his scripts, you'll know how good they are, and that's why I think he will get a nomination, if only purely for the fact that the Academy expect good things from him because he does write such a good script, and I think that's going to be the case here. But that's the wild card. I haven't seen The Father yet, but just from the trailer, it seems like a very, very well written piece of work. So I've never seen the original play either, but yeah, that's the one I haven't seen, The Father. So it is an educated guess, but it does look wonderful. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, I just want to say at this point, I am more of a fan of Ma Rainey's Black Bottom than I am One Night in Miami. I think One Night in Miami could be the one that gets the nod as well, but I'm just more of a Ma Rainey fan than I am a One Night in Miami fan, so I'm rooting for that more, if you like. Not that they are the same film or comparable, it's just the fact that they're both based on plays and very powerful black stories, and both kind of based on true stories, I guess. Although one is a sort of a fictional account of real people, but still. So no, if it ever came down to the two of them, I think Ma Rainey's winning of every category, if you like. But there you go. So I'll go down to the animated feature then. Now, the number of nominations for this award ceremony, this particular award, varies from year to year. So I'm simply going to say that this is a 3-horse race this year. So the animated feature films are either Soul, Onwards, or Wolf Walkers. Everyone seems to be saying how good Wolf Walkers is, and it is. I had a massive problem with Wolf Walkers in that the score was empty. I really do think, as good as the voice acting is as good as anything you'll ever find. But I just feel the sound design of the whole thing doesn't really give it anything extra, which is a real shame. It really took it away from me. But it is a 3-horse race based on those three. I say Soul. I think that's probably. I know we're not doing the winners, but I think Soul is going to be the winner. I prefer Onwards out of all three of them, but that's just my opinion. So there you go. Cinematography then. So I've gone for Mank, Nomadland, News of the World, Tenet, and First Cow. Now, again, I haven't seen every sort of category. So I haven't seen every nomination or every contender. So when I see the nominations list, I may be able to give you an exact clear winner, but based on just my own knowledge and what I think generally, I think cinematography is going to be an interesting category. Mank, for fairly obvious reasons, because they used sort of the classic techniques. Nomadland, because everything about it is beyond perfect. Just the way it looks and the way it tells its story visually is excellent. News of the World, again, just the sweeping scale of it is exceptionally well shot. Tenet for its inventiveness, and First Cow, again, just a very good visual story with different techniques to build a great story visually. So yeah, I'm behind First Cow to get the outside nomination there. I don't know if it will, but we'll see. So editing, I've gone for Greyhound, Trial of the Chicago 7, The Father. Again, I haven't seen it, but based on the trailer, it looks exceptionally well done. And The Sound of Metal. I have seen all of the others. Greyhound is my personal choice. I'd give a lot of technical awards. I'd give to Greyhound, in actual fact, but I think it deserves editing, at least a nod. Trial of Chicago 7, just the way the story moves and flows is very well paced and it's great editing. Nomadland, same again. It's kind of it's an interesting choice for Nomadland. It's just the pacing and the way the story tells through editing is just so well done. So it's an easy choice. Like I say, The Father, I haven't seen it fully, but the trailer looks interesting. And The Sound of Metal, I think a lot of people are going to suggest that maybe the sound mixing and those categories are going to be won by that film, which is fine. But again, really good editing. So I'm going to move on to Best Supporting. Excuse me. So I'm going to move on to Best Supporting Actor then. Now, this is an interesting category. There's a lot of choice this year. I would absolutely love to say, I'd absolutely love to say that Peter Dinklage might deserve a nod here for his amazing turn in I Care a Lot, but I think it's an outside chance, to be honest with you. Although I'd love to see it. I just think it's one of those films that the Oscars don't generally acknowledge. But here we go. So I've gone for Clark Peters in The Five Bloods, Leslie Odom Jr., One Night in Miami, plays Sam Cooke, and of course he was in Hamilton as well, wasn't he? So I think that'll play in his favour. Daniel Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah, Sacha Baron Cohen, Trial of Chicago 7, and Bill Murray for On the Rocks. So I haven't seen Judas and the Black Messiah yet, but the reason I have put Daniel Kaluuya in there is because I think he was... Well, first of all, he was very unlucky the other year for Get Out, and last year he was in my absolute favourite film of the year, which was Queen and Slim, and I think that was snubbed, and he himself was snubbed for it. So, with that in mind, I think off the back of him being amazing in Queen and Slim and in the awards conversation, as it were, for Judas and the Black Messiah, I think I want to give it to him, even though I haven't seen it. So that's my reason, anyway. Sacha Baron Cohen, let's say he's done Borat, he's in Trial of Chicago 7. I don't think they'll give him an acting nod for Borat, but I think Trial of Chicago 7, if he is to get an acting nod, will be the one he gets. Bill Murray, Lon deserves it, and he is the best thing about On the Rocks by quite a long way. Leslie Odom Jr. was the best performer in One Night in Miami, and despite what everyone says in regards to The Five Bloods and Delroy Lindo being the one who deserves the nomination, I disagree with that. I was far more interested in Clark Peters than I was Delroy Lindo in that film. But yeah, there you go. So, supporting actress. Another interesting category this year. I have to say, my choice is more... It's less emotional, I'll be honest with you. This one's more up here than it is in here. But here we go. So, Best Supporting Actress then. I've gone for Maria Bakalova for Borat subsequent movie film. Glenn Close, Hillbilly Elegy. Helena Zengel, News of the World. Olivia Colman for The Father. And Yoon Yoo Jung for Minari. Now, when I saw Borat 2 the other week, I'm going to call it Borat 2, I was completely blown away in the first half an hour by how funny it was, but how well she sold what was going on. And as the film went on, she sold it even better. But the fact that she sells what's going on so well to people who don't know what's going on is unbelievably brilliant. So I have to put her down for at least nomination. Glenn Close, she deserves to have won one by now, to be perfectly frank about this. But on the outside chance. But I do think she'll get a nod. Helena Zengel, News of the World, great young leading lady performance there, albeit supporting, but she's terrific in it. Olivia Colman for The Father, again, not seen it, but the trailer again. And Yoon Yoo Jung for Minari. She's just the spotlight stealer as the bad-mouthed granny. I love that character. Same as Glenn Close to an extent. It might even come down to them two. But yeah, I think Minari was elevated by her presence. So yeah. Moving on then. So we're coming to the big ones now. So Best Actor. I'm going to discuss this a bit more in a second, but Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Rest in peace. Stephen Ewan for Minari. Mads Mickelson, another round. Riz Ahmed for The Sound of Metal, and Anthony Hopkins for The Father. So I was in the belief that Chadwick Boseman should probably be nominated for Best Supporting Actor, in actual fact. Albeit, I'm fully aware he has a lot more screen time than the leading actress, who is Ma Rainey, Viola Davis. And everyone else in the room with him performs exceptionally well. But I am in the belief that possibly he was the supporting actor because Ma Rainey and what she, even though she's not present, what she has done as a character is present in what he's saying. So I feel like he's bouncing off what she's done, how she's neglecting him, and what she hasn't done. So that's my thinking, but best actor nod at the very least. I think he's going to get a nod anyway. Stephen Ewan for Minari, he's just wonderfully tender in it, isn't he? Really. Mads Mikkelsen for Another Round. I'm actually in the belief that this is one of his more mundane, sort of basic performances, to be honest with you, albeit the last scene when he dances. But I think he was far better in The Hunt than he was this. But I think he does deserve a nod. Riz Ahmed. I'm a massive Riz Ahmed fan, actually, because he was, he's an English talent. And how often and how many Pakistani origin actors have made it mainstream? Sincerely, so there isn't that many, and he is arguably the best of the bunch. And I'm a massive fan of his ever since I saw him in Four Lions, and he turned up in Nightcrawler, and he was a spotlight stealer in that. So I really like Riz Ahmed. I really wish him the best, and I'm really happy that he's made this film. He's doing really well for himself. And of course, Sir Anthony Hopkins, the father. Again, not seen it, but the trailer looks interesting. He looks great in it again, and he's Sir Anthony Hopkins. You know what you're going to get from him. You know you're going to get an A-grade effort from him. So I think the performance is his. So best actress then. This is the toughest category to choose in a long time. I'm just going to say that, because so many great, terrific, top draw leading performances to consider here. I've seen a lot of them. Now there's ones I haven't seen. For example, I have not seen Andra Day in the Billie Holiday film. There's a lot of buzz around her and that. It's not been released here yet, but I am looking forward to that one. Like I say, I haven't seen it, but she's up there. I'll just point out at the moment, this is not my list yet. I'm just pointing out that she's one of the ones who's a big contender. Vanessa Kirby is another big contender for Pieces of a Woman, and she's also in The World to Come. I haven't seen The World to Come. I have seen Pieces of a Woman. I was kind of... So at the start, I wasn't on her side, and then I slowly became to be on her side. So it was an interesting performance, an interesting film in that regard. But, yeah, I don't know if she's... I think the two films might play in her favour, but I haven't put her on the list. The other one I haven't put on the list, who I really thought would be up there, is Sydney Flanagan for Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, because her performance in that was so brilliant, so subtle and brilliant. But yeah, I think it's just not gonna go in her favour. So anyway. So here's my 5 picks for nominations for Best Actress. Again, I haven't seen the Andra Day one, so here we go. So I've gone for Frances McDormand, of course, for Nomadland. I have seen Nomadland, by the way, and yeah, she's excellent. So, but she always is. But again, it's just one of those. I think she's going to be a strong contender. Carey Mulligan, Promising Young Woman, one of my favourites of last year, as you know. So I just don't see her not getting a nod for this. Elizabeth Moss. So I think she's going to get a nod for The Invisible Man. I really want her to get a nod for The Invisible Man. I can't tell you how behind her I am for her to get a nod in this year, because she is an excellent actress. She's also in Shirley. So that, I think, again, that'll play in her favour, the fact that she's done a couple of films which are heavily contested. And as well as that, she was in Her Smell, which I think would have contended for last year, and that was another thing to consider. But I really want Elizabeth Moss to get a nomination for The Invisible Man, because it really is excellent. But we'll see. Julie Garner for the assistant. It was between her and Sydney Flanagan, but I think Garner edges it just based on the experience factor more than anything, to be honest with you. And now, earlier on, I said I Care a Lot is one that the Oscars might overlook given its subject and its genre. But I've gone for Rosamund Pike and I Care a Lot. She's my wildcard nomination. But if she doesn't get it, I understand why. But if she does, she deserves it. Simple as that. She's been nominated before, of course. So, yeah, Rosamund Pike, I Care a Lot. If you haven't seen it, by the way, go check it out. Okay, so moving on then. Best Director. So I've gone for Chloe Zhao, of course, for Nomadland. Emerald Fennell, Promising Young Woman. Aaron Sorkin, Trial of the Chicago 7. Lee Isaac Chung for Minari. And David Fincher for Mank. I actually think Mank is going to be the one that's going to get a lot of nominations and either no wins or it's one of them that's going to go either way, if I'm honest with you. It's either going to win nothing but get nominated for everything, or it's going to win the technical categories and not win the emotional categories, I guess you could say. You'll notice I didn't nominate Gary Oldman for Best Actor. He may sneak in, but I've gone for David Fincher for Mank, just for how much he clearly loved making it, and he put a lot of love into it, and you can tell. So that's why I've gone for that. Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, again a very personal story based on his script as well. I think the fact that he got such a good performance out of a young actor. Obviously, the story's told through the young kid in it. I think the Academy understands how difficult it is to get good performances out of children, and I think that'll play in his favour again. Aaron Sorkin, so it's only his second film. He's a great writer, and I think he knows and has learned from good people of how to direct good actors in his scripts. And I just think his script was enough to say, right, here's the script, here's your character, go. And I think that was enough. But it's come across really well for him. Emerald Fennell, I just can't see her not getting some big nominations because she truly is a fantastic outstand for a Promising Young Woman. I just think she's rightfully going to get a lot of attention after this award season. So, yeah. And Chloe Zhao, of course, Nomadland, she's the favourite, I think. And no, I don't think anyone's going to argue with that one because it really is a great, like I say, I keep coming back to it. It's a great story, very well directed, very nice to watch, very pleasant to watch, very enjoyable. So, yeah, I think she's the favourite, I think. So, last but not least then, Best Picture. There are usually 10 nominations. There have been the last few years at least. So, 10 nominations. And here's what I think. So, I've gone for Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Trial of the Chicago 7, Mank, Minari, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Sound of Metal, Soul, News of the World, and The Father. So, again, I haven't seen The Father, but just from the trailer, it feels like that kind of film that would connect. News of the World, it's a new story in the West. I think the Academy have got a long history of acknowledging that, so I think so. Soul, Pixar usually get nominated for Best Pictures now, given how good they are and how connecting and how brilliant their stories are. Soul isn't going to win, but I think it's the one that's going to get a nod. Sound of Metal. If you haven't seen Sound of Metal, please do. It's very, very good. A great tale of the deaf community, and it'll help people to understand the deaf community as well. It's difficult, but it really does put you in that. It puts you in sort of in their scenario as the audience, and it's very good. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I love the writing of it, and Chadwick Boseman really does bring it home. But yeah, I think Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is gonna get a nod. Minari, just such a good family film. Mank again. The bridesmaid, not the bride, but still it'll get a nomination. Trial of the Chicago 7, great story, well told. Simple as that. Promising Young Woman. I just can't see Emerald Fennell not doing well after this, because it really is that good and that powerful, and it beats its message into you, and rightfully so. So Promising Young Woman and Nomadland. So again, Chloe Zhao, she's just having a great year, and I can't see that not getting Best Picture nod, because it's won the most awards in the run up, and everyone just loves it, and you'll love it too when you see it. I think it's not the most engaging watch ever. It's not exciting really, but it is a very good and interesting watch, and it's, like I say, it's a human film and a human story that just connects, and I think it's going to be the tough one to beat. So there you are. There are my predictions for the main categories of the Oscars. I'd love to know what you think, but I will link as well the actual nominations when they go live tomorrow. So yes, and then I will discuss the actual nominations in a couple of weeks' time, closer to the Oscars date, and we'll see how my predictions get on, because I will be predicting what I think will win the Oscars, and I usually get a lot of them right. So so we'll see. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you again next time. Thank you so much, and do subscribe. Do let me know what you think about the upcoming Oscars. Obviously, the BAFTAs were last week, and that was very, very broad this year. I haven't seen many of them either, but I'm looking forward to seeing what comes from that. Obviously, the Golden Globes have come and gone, so the Oscars is the big one, and it's around the corner next month. So yes, I'm very much looking forward to it, and there'll be more from me about the Oscars in the coming weeks. So see you then.